Okay guys, I've started cleaning this piece up that I cast in the tin. There's still one or two little divots in it. I should say they're about maybe 2-3 millimeters thick. I intend cutting this into some smaller gears that'll mate up with this one, and the number of gears isn't critical. It's a scratch build, so the number of gears isn't critical. And I've just looked online on the gear calculator. I've got 20 teeth, 24 and 26. Now at the moment it stands at 66 millimeters, so 26 teeth is 59.26 millimeters, so we'll try for that one first. And I've still got some imperfections in it. I'll try and go down to the 24, but we'll aim for the 59.26 first. Well, that's 64. Yeah, still one or two marks yet. Well, I've got it cleaned up now, guys. It looks good all the way around. Now let's see what we've got it to. Well, that's 62.8 millimeters, and what did I have? 26 teeth will give me 59.26 millimeters, so we can go for the 26 teeth, which is the biggest one, so I'm pleased with that. So what do I have? 62. I've just got under 3 millimeters to take off. So a quick tip, guys, if you're planning on making your own 26 teeth gear from aluminium that you're going to cast, you can cast it in a baked bean tin. Well, that's 59.99, and we want 59.26, so almost there. $59,266. $59,266. Pleased with that, guys. Well, that's the piece I've just turned, guys, and there's one or two imperfections, yeah, but on the two ends, which are going to be machined down anyway. I'm going to machine the two ends down now. I may end up trying to cut the teeth on this in one go and then split it into the individual gears that I need. I'll probably get 3 out of this, I think. I would have liked to have turned this down while I've got the collet truck on, but that's the largest collet I've got, and it's not big enough, so I'm going to swap it back over to the power jaw, and then I'll turn the two ends down, and then we'll look at drilling a hole through the centre.
Okay, Venus?
Okay, Steve.
All right, let's go.
Way out in space together, conquerors of the sky. My heart could be a fireball, a fireball. Every time I gaze into your starry eyes, we take the path to Jupiter, and maybe very soon we cruise along the Milky Way and land upon the moon. To a wonderland of stardust, we'll zoom our way to Mars. My heart would be a fireball, a fireball. 'Cause you would be my Venus of the stars.
In Four Feather Falls, Four Feather Falls, there's always magic in the air. In Four Feather Falls, Four Feather Falls, you'll always find a vacant chair. In Four Feather Falls, Four Feather Falls, where every heart is kind and true. If ever you're in town, they'll never let you down. And stranger, there's a welcome for you. But anything can happen, anything at all. Why, you might hear a dog meow. Hey, hey, but stranger than that, any stray cat may suddenly remark, bow wow. Oh ho, Four Feather Falls, Four Feather Falls, the only place on earth to be. 'Cause Four Feather Falls, Four Feather Falls, means heaven on the range to me. In Four Feather Falls, Four Feather Falls, the only place on earth to be. 'Cause Four Feather Falls, I said Four Feather Falls, means heaven on the range to me. Yes, heaven on the range to me.
Well guys, I've made a grinding fixture for the wood turning chisels, something I designed, I copied offline. That's the main carrier. That slides through a square section of tubing that I can clamp to different lengths. And once that's tightened down, this is the arm that supports the chisel. Chisel will go through there and then clamp into place, and then this point fits in the triangular section at the bottom. It's adjustable for different angles at the bottom, so I think that'll make grinding the chisels a bit easier. I'm going to have a look if I can adapt this arm onto the large pedestal grinder to see if I can use it on that as well. So I've made an adjustable support plate for it, but for different angles, but if I can clamp this onto the side of the body, I think that'll be handy on there as well. On the wood lathe, guys, I've only recently discovered that you can spin the headstock 90 degrees to the bed. There's a bracket on here that was scratching my head what it was used for, but now I've had a closer look at it, that's for mounting the tool rest. The headstock spun 90 degrees to the bed, and that then will allow you to turn larger pieces. 10 inches between the centre of the chuck and the bar, so that in theory will turn a 20-inch diameter piece. There's a locking bar underneath. There's a detent mechanism on the side, so that locks it back at back running parallel with the lathe bed then, and you just tighten it down on the bottom with this lever. Up to now, guys, I've been quite pleased with this lathe for what I paid for it. I've not used it too often, but the couple of jobs I've done, it's caught pretty well. The only downside, I think, is the tubular bed. I think that's the weakest point of it. I've considered putting some kind of you can reduce the length of the bed to try and stiffen things up, but I've been considering putting a piece underneath that I can put maybe a car jack or some form of device to jack it up to stiffen the bed up. Just be careful it doesn't get in the way of the tailstock or the tool rest. I have been considering swapping these bars out for some angle iron, maybe 4x3 angle iron. I don't think it'd be too much work swapping that over, because with the headstock being separate to the mounting piece, the 4x3 would go under that. I could machine this down to accept the piece of angle iron. Same on the tailstock end. The only alterations I'd have to make then is the clamping device for the tool rest and the tailstock. At the moment, it's just a piece that clamps onto the underside of these two bars, but I don't think that would be too much work. I think that would be a great improvement on this lathe, but that's possibly a future project. Well, I've not got a great selection of turning chisels at the moment. I've picked one or two up off eBay, decent quality ones, and picked about 4 or 5 up off eBay that seem okay. I've also been making my own out of, this was a Farrier's rasp that I put in the heat treating oven, annealed it, took the teeth off, ground it roughly into shape, and then hardened it again, quenched it, and I've knocked this one into what I believe is called a skew. So I think I'll do a bit more experimenting with that. I've got this piece of mahogany. This was a leg off a low coffee table. I have used a couple of pieces. I've got 2 legs left, and I've started turning this down between centres, but it's really hard stuff. It's had a couple of big nails punched into it for the support for the leg, but I've started turning it down. But as I say, it's hard stuff. So let's see what we can do with this. This chisel I'm not too sure about. This came with a 2 or 3 that I bought off eBay. It's got a name on here, Harvey, presuming that was the owner's name. I don't think that's a brand name, but I'm not too sure what this one does, but it might come in handy. Well guys, I think I found a use for this chisel. Yeah. Yeah, this wood turn is not as hard as you think. Thanks for watching, guys.